Jonathan Walter, weekday mornings on Erie News Now.
Coming up on Erie News Now at 12:30, we'll give you new details on the LaCastro trial as he gave his testimony today in court. And after being delayed again, find out when the trial for a person charged with the shooting at 901 Sports Bar and Grill might begin. Plus, the government shutdown has a local food bank working out to help the community. It's all coming up here on Erie News Now at 12:30.
With coverage you can count on, this is Erie News Now at 12:30.
Good afternoon, I'm Jonathan Skinner alongside David Walter as a look at your first warning weather. David, how's it looking for people headed out to lunch this morning?
Doesn't look too bad out there. We don't have any extra snow, no sleet or freezing rain coming on down. We could see a little bit of snow tonight, but it is okay out there. It's just cold with our Bob Ferinda World Sky Cam. Hey, this is Meadville. We got a lot of gray out there across the sky, 24 degrees right now, a little bit warmer than this morning, but still temperatures well below freezing, only 26 in Erie as well as Waterford, 25 in Corey, and Warren, 22 in Jamestown. Winter storm watch in effect right now just for Warren and McKean County and also much of western New York. Actually, most of the state of New York right now under a winter storm watch, but I'm expecting these watches to expand maybe over the course of the next 24 hours. Of course, we are getting closer to the weekend and that potential for a pretty significant snowfall here in northwest Pennsylvania. A lot of clouds. They continue to thicken up a bit more. We have a little bit of sunshine out there in Warren at the moment, but more gray skies. Temperatures actually around freezing. We won't be cooling down a whole lot tonight. We'll actually be watching a weak system move into the area that will drop a little bit of snow, basically up to an inch or so. And so I'll discuss a little bit more about that, how you can prepare tomorrow morning, and also, of course, look ahead to the big snowstorm coming up this weekend in 10 minutes.
Thanks, David. And we're going to be updating you on the LaCastro trial that continued today. Today, he gave his testimony as to what happened in that situation. Now, today in court, he did follow up in saying that he did not shoot at police purposely. He said that with his experience as a military vet, he would not have shot at anything that he could not see. In addition, he did say that and agreed with his wife's testimony from yesterday, who told police that they had been at a party for several hours before the shooting happened. They both said that he fell down a flight of stairs at the party and that he hit his head. When they got home, they got into an argument because she wanted him to go directly to the hospital. A few minutes later, they both called 911 after LaCastro fired a handgun inside their garage. Closing arguments for the trial are expected to begin today. And each week, Erie News Now teams up with the Erie County Sheriff's Office to help land wanted suspects behind bars. This week, they're looking for 24-year-old Arthur Smart. He's wanted for probation violation warrants on original charges of carrying a gun without a license. They're also looking for 33-year-old Steve Smith. Steve Smith is wanted for a probation violation warrant on the original charge of possession with the intent to deliver a controlled substance. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of the two can contact the Erie County Sheriff's Warrant Division at the number on the screen. The court appearance for an Erie man charged with attempted murder after a shooting outside a local bar has been pushed back. Police say 23-year-old Keith Williams shot two women outside the now closed 901 Sports Bar and Grill last summer. Police say Williams fired a gun into a crowd outside the bar, leaving two women injured. In court, a judge was expected to decide if there's enough evidence to send Williams' case to trial. That spot on 4th and Plum Streets in Erie also used to be called the View Ultra Lounge. The city's nuisance bar task force shut it down last year after a number of complaints to police about the violence at that location. Williams is now expected to be in court in February. A suspect is in custody this afternoon after police near Pittsburgh issued an Amber Alert for an abducted teen. The alert about a teenager's abduction came down shortly after 9 o'clock last night. It has since been canceled, but It all stems from an incident near downtown Pittsburgh. The Penn Hills Police Department first issued the alert. They say a 16-year-old girl named Marjani Akil was abducted by her 19-year-old ex-boyfriend, Jermaine Rogers. Akil was reported missing by her parents yesterday afternoon. Erie News Now has learned that Rogers has a criminal record. He was sentenced to probation just last month after being arrested on charges of kidnapping a minor 1 year ago. Police found him in the coal cellar of a home in McKeesport earlier this morning. They saw the 16-year-old girl in the home's living room and got her to safety. The SWAT team had to be called in to arrest Rogers, and in a bit of a twist, professional wrestler and Olympic gold medal winner Kurt Angle put out a post on Facebook asking people for help, saying Akil is his niece. The search for a cause is underway today after a destructive overnight fire in Crawford County. The first calls came in around 10 o'clock last night. Smoke and flames at a home along Route 19 near the intersection with Mole Road in Greenville brought the first crews to the scene where the fire was coming through a roof. Volunteers from Crawford and Mercer counties teamed up to put the fire out, and there are no words of any injuries. A suicide bombing claimed by ISIS killed at least 16 people, including 4 Americans in northern Syria, just a month after President Trump declared the extremist group had been defeated, and he was pulling out U.S. forces. Richard Engel reports from Iraq.
Overnight, new details and more fallout after a deadly attack on Americans in Syria. Witnesses say U.S. forces were near a popular restaurant on this street in the city of Manbij when a man in civilian clothing approached. He was a suicide bomber lying in wait, wearing a powerful explosive vest. 4 Americans, 2 U.S. service members, a contractor, and a civilian working for the DoD were killed. Witnesses telling NBC News the American forces had set a dangerous pattern here, repeatedly coming to the same restaurant. ISIS quickly posting an unsubstantiated claim of responsibility.